Alright guys, we're going to check out this 5.56 upper by BCA, Bear Creek Arsenal today. It is a 1 in 8 twist, free float handguard as you can see there, M-lock, got the flash hider on the end there. It's a 16-inch length, 1 in 8 twist, hammer forged, and this is their side charger model. Do maybe a box of ammo for break-in, and then I'm actually going to run more than what you saw in the thumbnail and do a little accuracy test with this. So these are what I had in the thumbnail there. We have these Federal 64 grain soft point 223, got the 55 grain PMC bronze 223, 62 grain the green tips M855 5.56 PMC X-Tac. And then I got these 75 grain 5.56 boat tail hollow point match by Frontier. So that's what you guys saw in the thumbnail, but I also have these other grains over here. We're also going to try the match 55 grain 223 by Frontier and 68 grain match by Frontier. I'm actually using this in several videos today, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on that, get the break-in process done during those videos, and then when you see me come back here, we're going to have a little budget 6 to 24 by 50 up on there, and this is just an Anderson mil-spec lower. Alright, so I'm out here on another day, but there we are ready to go, and we're going to do some groups down here at 100 yards. Dot on the left, we're going to take a 5-shot group with that PMC bronze 55 grain 223. I will be speeding you guys up after this so you don't have to sit through 20 minutes of grouping. This first group's kind of hard to see. This is a shoot and see target, but it's a little difficult to see because they were all pretty much hovering around that dot, so the upcoming groups, on top of being sped up, they'll be a lot easier to see. Also, I'm going to show you guys the target when we're done here. Now here we go with that Frontier 55 grain match on the top dot. Now here's the PMC X-Tac, the green tips, 5.56, 62 grain. And we're going for the dot on the right. Dot on the bottom, Federal Power Shock 64 grain soft point 223. So again, I'm going to show you guys the target once we finish up here. But I had one go low of the group, so it was actually grouping these really well. But I had one flyer down low, which again you'll see up close towards the end of the video. So I was wondering if I pulled it or if that was just really the group, because the rest were doing excellent in grouping all over that dot there. So I loaded up 3 more and sent 3 more down at it to see what would happen, and yeah, the group really started opening up on me. So then I started to wonder, okay, is the barrel just heating up? I mean, I was taking 2 to 3 minute breaks in between each group. The barrel wasn't like scalding hot or anything, but I began to wonder if it was doing this due to heating up, perhaps. So I went ahead and took another 5 immediately after here. At the center, you'll see them kind of grouping towards the bottom of that oval there in the center. 5 more of the PMC 223 55 grain, just to see if maybe the barrel was heating up and causing them to throw the shots that make the groups wider. So you'll see here, well, it's kind of hard to see because of the red, but again, you'll see it up close towards the end. I'll show the video or the target up close. So the second group with those, it does open up compared to the first, but I end up shooting a third group of these later on a cold barrel. Not ice cold, but I mean, I let it cool down for like 10 minutes to see if it went back to that freak group size of those at the very beginning of the video. The very first group, it was like 1 inch, and it did not. So that was just a freak accident. For some reason, it just so happened to group those very first 5 way tighter than it should have, because a 1-in-8 twist should not like 55 grain bullets that much. But anyways, this confirmed for me that it wasn't groups opening up due to the barrel heating up or anything. So now it's raining. I've researched this before, and because of the velocity of the bullet, as long as you're hypersonic or above the speed of sound or whatever you want to call it, it literally just pushes the rain out of the way, so it's a non-issue. And you'll see proof of that right here, because we shoot a really good group with the 68 grain match by Frontier here. And that is if you can see the target in the rain here, but again, I'll show you the target towards the end of the video. Also, due to this pouring rain, I did not want to get soaked to go switch out the target, so I just picked an aim point on the target and shot at that. So right here was my aim point. Now here finally is that 75 grain match hollow point by Frontier. We're doing a similar thing here, picking an aim point on the same side but at the top half of the target. Now I was shocked here because it shot the 68 grain boat tail hollow point match great, and then the 75 grain it didn't like so much. I was like, wow, really? So with the remaining 3 of those 68 grain I went back to the 68 grain group, same spot but on the bottom left hand side of the target there that we just shot at. Put those 3 in just to check, like, okay, is it going to sling these like crazy now, or does it just really not like those 75 grains? And I'm about to show you guys the target here, but it just did not like those 75 grains. It put these 3 more 68 grains right in the exact same freaking group, so it really liked these 68 grain. And then off camera I did just that 1 more 55 grain group that I mentioned earlier. Alright, so here's our results so far. So first group there, 55 grain PMC FMJ. Like I said, it was looking pretty good there. So that's about a 1.5 inch group with those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was the 55 grain match, which it clearly did not like as much. It's about a 2 inch group there. Then these were the 62 grain, the PMC X-Tech, the green tips. That wasn't too bad right there, man. That was about 1 3/4, but with that 1 clear out there, for some reason about 3 1/4 inches. Then we came down here with the 64 grain, those Federal, the soft points, the blue box. And, you know, I took the extra, what was it, 2 or 3 shots at this because I was wondering, yeah, because I had that 1 low flyer and then the rest were up here grouping nice. And then we took the others and then, you know, we ended up with this. So was that a 8-shot group, and this thing's, you know, freaking 3-some inches there. And then I came to this aim point right here, right where my finger is, shooting those 68 grain hollow point match, the Frontiers. And that's the group we got. So you know, that was like I'm measuring the rightmost 3 here, all within that 1-inch mark, because the one just barely to the left of those 3, that was actually from this horrible extra 55 grain group off to the left there, which I will get to in just a moment. Oh, about 1-inch group there, 100 yards, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that was, we'll get to that. So I mean, center to center it's 1 inch, so I guess edge to edge is just a hair over 1 inch. It really liked those 68 grain. Then we came up here, did the 75 grainers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it clearly did not like those. Again, we got that one weird flyer. These 4 are way better. It's still not great, but with that flyer there, we're coming in almost 4 inches. And then what I do, another group with the 55 grain FMJ, the 223, and we got this right here. So again, I don't know, cold barrel or just a fluke or what, but don't know how the heck I got about a 1-inch group there, 1 1/4 for those first 5 shots with that 55 grain 223. Because again, a 1 1/8 twist should not like 55 grain that much. I mean, it'll shoot them okay, but typically not that well. Well, that reminds me, we came back and put 3 more in this group of that 68 grain just to confirm it wasn't a fluke like it was with that first 5-shot group with the 55s, and it was still printing them in the same group. So she really liked those 68 grain. So overall, you know, it seems like typical battle rifle accuracy there. You know, I don't know what, averaging 2.5, 3 MOA, but if you find the right one that it really likes, she's shooting about 1 inch at 100 yards. And you know, that's with that bag and no rear rest and a mil-spec trigger. So no doubt you find the right load it likes and use a proper front and rear bags and have a, you know, good trigger in it. It certainly would shoot sub MOA with what it likes, based on the results I got here today with those 68s and, you know, my setup, how I was shooting them. All right, we're gonna take some quick 300-yard shots, and I'm just using this 55 grain 223 PMC, so I'm not even using what it liked, but we'll still have no problem hitting this out here 300 yards. Let me set my parallax. Zoom her in. All right. There we go. I just wasn't aiming high enough. Compensate for the drop. So there was 4 or 5 in a row once I actually aimed high enough. Not sure how many shots are left in here, at least 1. Two shots, 2 hits. That's all that was left in the mag there. So, like I said, 300 yards, no problem, even with stuff that it don't like that much. So, you know, having sub MOA accuracy, obviously it only comes into play if you're shooting really, really far, or, you know, really small targets at decent distances, like 100 or 200 yards, you know, shooting something stupid small like a gopher or whatever. But, you know, 2 to 3 MOA groups get you out there 300-400 yards, no problem on a large target. I gotta say, honestly, I was expecting it to like more ammo than that, so I'm really glad it did like those 68 grain. It'll show it will shoot with ammunition it does like. So at least it liked those. So I'm happy with the performance from that 68 grain stuff. I just wish it liked some of the others a little more. So I'll experiment over time, but I mean, we tried a good bit of ammo here, and that was the only one that it printed really well with, was that 68 grain Frontier. And this stuff's cheap. It's like $12, $13 a box. At least around here it is. Man, give me the focus. 223, 68 grain, boat tail hollow point match. The Frontier there. Really like those. So I'm sure there's more loads that it likes, but at least we know she's MOA capable. Like I said, it was right around 1 inch, and I wasn't you know, doing my best. Got a mil-spec trigger on there, using just the front bag, no rear bag. So I don't know if 68 is just a magic number for that or what. And then obviously this is all budget ammo too. So, but yeah, that does it for this one. At least with those 68 grains, I'm happy with it. I don't like those other groups. Like I said, it's still plenty good enough, you know, for a battle rifle. And it's about what most budget rifles would shoot anyways. But it shoots pretty dang good with that 68 grain Hornady Frontier there. It likes those. So I'm going to have to find some more loads that it likes like that. If you guys want to get yourself any of the products you see me using any of my videos, like my target stand there, paper targets I use, steel targets, shooting bag, earmuffs, rangefinder, way more, links in the description for all of that. For more on this upper, make sure you check out my campsite page, which is also linked in the description. But thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope to catch you on the next one.